What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 16th day of August, and here we are at about $117.6 thousand. We're going nowhere fast, you guys, at least not over the past day. Looking at this on the daily time frame, we have about 9 hours, 56 minutes left in the day, 10 hours left. I still believe that we have lower to go, but again, I want to reiterate, I'm open to the idea of this being the low. That could have been it. That really could have been it, and we do move higher, and maybe we move lower afterwards, and then we move higher, something like that. Or perhaps we do end up moving higher, and then we move lower than this low. But I am at the moment considering more so that we do go below this low, that we do see prices that are below $117,000. Let's see, even a little bit. Yesterday we saw 116.8K, so even below there. 116.5 to 114.5 is the target area, the intended area to go to. And let's look at the 1 hour time frame and see if it still agrees with that. Yesterday I was going back and forth. I shouldn't say yesterday, it was earlier today, like 12 hours ago. I was going back and forth on the idea of are we going to move up first? Are we going to move down first? At this point in time yesterday, or whenever I made my video, I want to say it was this hour here, this had a really nice setup of a double bottom and that we would move higher, but we didn't do it. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that looked at that and saw that, right? I'm sure I'm not the only person who's aware of the liquidations that are taking place as far as like shorts versus longs go. Yesterday, if you guys remember, I keep saying yesterday, damn it, it's like 13 hours ago, 14 hours ago. Technically today, the 16th, as far as Bitcoin time is concerned. It was yesterday for me, like late night yesterday, the 15th. But anyways, the shorts outweighed the longs tremendously. Now the longs have come back. There's a good bit of longs being piled on. I'm not the only person who down here thought we might move up, right? At the end of the video, I did say, okay, ultimately I think we are going to continue to move down, clear out those longs, and then we'll move up. But who cares, right? Semantics. 7-day time frame. Let's go over the week here. Longs have also piled on versus that, but the shorts are definitely higher than the longs at this point. I think we just take out this wall, man. We take out this wall. Most of it gets taken out at 116K. All of it's taken out at 113.4K, which is lower than I expect us to go. Maybe we go as low as 113.4K. I was looking at this this account on X. I forget what it is. Is it like Income Sharks? One of those decent, traders out there who has decent TA. And he was saying we're in a horizontal channel. I was saying that Bitcoin, if you notice, really what it likes to do is it likes to have blemishes. These horizontal channels are more like this, right? That's your horizontal channel. Let me delete this one so it's more obvious. And you have blemishes to the upside and the downside. So taking that into account here, if this were a horizontal channel and we had blemishes to the upside or downside, I would think more so that this is our channel, right? Something like this, and 116K might be the area that we find support at, or again have a blemish to the downside. But could we go all the way down to 112K again, or 113K? Sure. There's some liquidations to be had down there. I think that by the time we get to 115K, if we were to get to 115K, I think there's going to be so many shorts piled up that it's going to be appetizing to move to the upside, but that's not all it is. Price can do whatever it wants. We would definitely liquidate every freaking long on the planet and pile on a lot of shorts if we did go to 113 to 112K. But that's not the call at the moment, at least. Looking at this on a daily time frame, it is Saturday. Saturdays have not been the best days lately. Let's see. I think they have been red. We go back to this Saturday. That was pumped up in the beginning and then red. Sunday was the green day. You go to the last Saturday, red day here. Sunday was the green day. You go to the Saturday before that, and it was green. It was actually green. It was neutral after a pretty terrible Friday, but then a recovery on Friday too. This Saturday here was red, right? And then Sunday was red as well. And then this Saturday here is the only red day out of all these green days. So typically throughout this range, Saturday has not been kind to us. Sunday has been the day that's kind to us. I wouldn't be surprised if we move down today, right? We've got a little bit of a green day now, 9 hours, 52 minutes left. Let's see how it goes. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame here. Again, I would be surprised if we go below 114.4K. And the reason for that, I want to say, I thought it was the liquidations, but looking at that there's not really any significance there anymore. It's the 786. The 786, yes. We've been respecting the 786 a lot in this range. Okay, that's what it is. I don't think we go down there. I'm just saying I give it that at the lowest. That would be my expectation as far as where we go. What I will say is nice is that we tried to move down here. We had a lower low. We tried breaking out and moving lower. We had some volume come in and everything, but it was less volume. We didn't really go anywhere. That definitely gave us an opportunity to bounce, and we just didn't take it. So that this moving sideways, this hesitation makes me think, well, maybe we need to go a little bit lower, shake out some more weak hands, pile on those shorts, and then we'll move up higher. Something like that will happen. And if we just move a little bit lower, you guys, that's like 116K, might be exactly where we go to, right? That's kind of where the bottom of this range is anyways. Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, rejecting the overbought zone, not a good look on the stochastics. The RSI does have higher highs. We do have lower highs in the price. That's not a good look either. I think the MACD is, I don't know, whatever. Moving sideways, not a whole lot of relevance there. 4 hour time frame here. Bearish on the stochastics, bearish on the RSI, and bearish on the MACD. What makes them bearish, I hear you asking. So stochastics being oversold, bearish. I thought being oversold was good. You want to buy in the oversold zone. Well, yes, hopefully you're buying whenever it's oversold, but when you get oversold in the stochastics, it's typically when you're making your downwards moves, right? If we're looking at this here, you got overbought. Let me zoom it in a little bit. Once you got oversold right here, was it a good time to buy? Hell no. You had to wait, and then finally, once you get out of the oversold zone here, that's whenever it's time, it's a good time to hodl, basically, to get in, right? You bounced off your oversold zone here, and it's different. It's not every single time you get into the oversold zone do you expect to have a long run like this, but whenever the orange line gets in there especially, that'd promote the idea that we go lower. You are crossed up at the moment, but I'm not wooed by this, right? You were crossed up here and rejected down. You were crossed down, well, I guess not really. You crossed down here and then you still kept moving up. We need to get into the band before we get too excited. The MACD crossing below the zero with these oscillators crossing below this midline right here, the zero line, that's bearish. And the fact that you have bearish momentum building, it's decaying right now, but the histogram, that the red pips are building. I would think that we get something like this, right? Where here it was building and then it decayed. I would think that we get a solid red where it does decay as well, where we get those lower lows there. So for that to happen, we'd have to move lower. And then the RSI, of course, is bearish for the obvious reasons. We're below the 50. We're wrestling the 40. Below the 40, we're not really finding any support here. You had an opportunity to bounce here where you bounced before, and you soiled it. You had an opportunity to bounce basically right off the oversold zone there. And I wouldn't say you've soiled it completely. I guess it depends on what we do on this 4 hour time frame. If in the next hour and 50 minutes, if by the what hour would that be, the 16th hour of the day, we're up above 117.9K, 117.8K on this 4 hour time frame, maybe we are moving up first, and that'd be okay, right? I'd be fine with that. If we do move up to 121K, 120K, we'd still likely come back down. A little bit of volatility never hurt anybody, but I just don't see that happening, not on a Saturday, man. Saturdays tend to be kind of neutral but red days. And these are all kind of bearish looking indications right now. So I would think lower. Looking at the daily time frame, here's where things start to get bullish. We actually are at a good place to turn around on the stochastics after being overbought like this. Same thing with the RSI. We're actually at a really good place to turn around. And the MACD bouncing off the zero here looks good as well. You're actually right at a place where you'd expect to bounce as well. So all of these set up to bounce. Sorry, I have to keep doing that. Hold on. If we don't bounce here, if we don't get a green day, then that's indicative of what I'm saying, which is that we will go lower, right? If today, by the end of the day we close green, well, that actually might be a good signal that this was the low, you guys. If today closes green, I just got to say that might be a good, oh my God, that is the tiniest little mosquito I've ever seen in my life. I didn't get it. I tried to, but that was the tiniest, I've never seen a mosquito so small. I didn't think they came out that small. It was like a hunter-seeker, man. Looking at it here, 117.7K. If we close the day green, I think that'd be a good signal that we could. There actually is a likelihood that goes up that this is the low and that we don't go lower, because bouncing off like all these areas here, if we close today green and we start to build from here, we get the next couple days to close green. All of these indicators are showing classic examples of areas to bounce. And if we bounce from here, I mean, there's a low probability that we would go lower. Doesn't mean that we can't go lower, but just looking at this from a low to a high here, I bet everybody and their algorithms are expecting us to go to this golden ratio. And sometimes whenever something's highly anticipated, everybody's got their eyes on it. And this very discernible low to very discernible high, all-time high, I would bet a lot of people are looking to buy here. Sometimes you front run that area. You don't get enough selling pressure, or there's too much buying pressure, and that's actually the most bullish signal you could have. So if we start to close green, and really if we can close, I would even say above about 119.5K. I guess the ultimate test would be 121.4K. If we close above there, there's no denying that that's the low. But if you want to get a little bit eager before, bro, he's fast. He's a little guy though. He's just a little guy. I mean, it's got, I looked at it, I could see it because I got my computer screen here. It was flying right up on the computer. I should say she. It's only the she's that are the bloodsuckers. That's not a slight at women. That's just, I'm pretty sure that's actually in their biology. Only the females are the bloodsuckers because they're the ones that lay the eggs. Where the male mosquito actually gets nectar instead of blood, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's different species to species, but little mosquito education on you there. But 121.4K. If you close above there on a daily time frame, that should validate this as a low. But if you don't want to wait for that, I think you've got enough going on here with these indicators that it could help suggest we are at the low. If we just get a few green days, like if today closes green, tomorrow closes green, we get above 119.4K, you know, maybe by the end of Monday or something like that, or sooner, I would think that this could be the low. Really, you know, 119.4K, just because it's that high right there, and then also it's kind of the top of this range, but I guess maybe 120K would be a safer bet because then we're getting above this daily high close. 120K, let's say 120K. You get above 120K, I'm sold. This is the low. Not get above, correct me, I'm sorry. 120K on a closing basis. Don't just get above there, close above there. Right? Don't just get above there, close above there. And if you can do that on a daily basis, then this is the low. If not, well, then we're probably going lower. And again, the area that we're going to is 114.5 or 4 to 116.5, probably a little bit below 116K if I really had to guess. I would like to see these longs get liquidated. I would. Just to make me feel better. But that's not what the markets are here for. They're not here to make you feel better. There is a lot of incentive to move up. There absolutely is. But over the 30-day period, over the past month, there definitely are more longs piled on than shorts. And I think if we move down a little bit, clear those out, we'd have more of a runway to move higher. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sticking with the downside for now. I hope it's not confused as to what I'm thinking. I definitely believe that we're still going to go lower, but I'm just giving you what to look for if you want to move higher, okay? If you want to move lower, and I think that you are going to move lower because I think you soiled your opportunity here to move up, we get a 4-hour time frame. I mean, really, it's just a matter of taking out this low. We take out that low and we're moving lower. And how much lower are we going to move? You know, we had a pretty big move here, decent move here. I would bet it's an even lesser move here, and we probably move down just below 116K. That'd be my guess. Something around there, though. And 116K makes so much sense because, again, we would clear out a good bit with that. We'd clear out a good bit of these longs, probably pile on some shorts. You look at the past day, you clear out basically all these longs just below 116K there, right? Clear out all those longs. And that puts us like right at the base of this range here, right? Like right there, where we found support once, where we found support twice, where we wicked below right there, where we found support right there, 115.9K. We might even wick a little bit below there. I mean, it makes sense to me. This is the land of the wicks, the land of the wicked. You know, wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside, whatever. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I don't know where that little guy went, but if he gets me, I guess he deserves to have a drink. I'm probably not going to miss too much. I'm telling you guys, this was the smallest, like, I'm going to get it on the camera here. It was like that big, man. It was the smallest. I've never seen a mosquito that small. I've always wondered, I'm like, what does a baby mosquito look like? And I got my answer, man. I thought they were just like larvae, and I'm sure they are larvae or some kind of something like that. But anyways, take care. Bye-bye.